years ago, over 125,000 people petitioned the White House to let Texas secede from the United States. While the petition was unsuccessful, it does bring up the question, could Texas make it on its own? How powerful is Texas? Well, Texas is the largest state in the contiguous U.S. with nearly 27 million residents. That means that about 1 in 12 Americans lives in the Lone Star State. Texas also generates about $1.5 trillion a year, which could put the hypothetical nation of Texas right between Spain and Australia as the world's 13th largest economy. This is largely because of their abundant resources. Texas has more farms and ranches than any other U.S. state and massive oil reserves. Alone, they produce 35% of the U.S.'s crude oil. So on paper, Texas has enough people, land, money, and oil to survive. But what about an army? Well, Texas is home to more than 25 military bases, including the only nuclear weapons assembly plant in the U.S. They also have a bevy of lucrative aerospace contracts. We're not saying that Texas would be able to maintain this army prowess or even marshal up an army, but the culture and infrastructure are already in place.
And all I can say is God bless Texas.
Texas wins praise from the White House after leading legal action to change the results of the presidential election.
How can anybody trust those elections for now or ever?
With the Republican Party right now full of packs of matches, along comes the chairman of the GOP in Texas with kind of loose talk in a press release about seceding from the union.
The state's Republican elected officials haven't welcomed party chair Allen West, and the chairman hasn't backed Beaumont Republican Dade.
SpaceX and the CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, is following through on his threat. He says he is moving his businesses out of California. Musk moved from Silicon Valley to Texas a few months ago, and now he is taking Tesla with him. Tesla and SpaceX were both still headquartered in California. He cited California's high taxes and his other business interests in Texas as some of the factors in his decision to move.
About
Tiffany
to sink.
Penn Tap.
Yeah, this ship was about to sink, son.
Right.
But I'm enjoying Austin.
So
I love it. It's great. It's dope city.
We're talking a little bit about how some people in England and Great Britain in general want their independence. If people at home in Texas were to want to secede from the United States for the same reasons, you know, some in Great Britain say there's too much direction coming from Brussels, and some in Texas say too much coming from Washington. Would you feel the same way and say if they want to do it, they should?
Texas will never do that. Texas does. Texas would never do that about Pleasant.
What about Vermont?
Vermont also.